WWE Evolution, the first ever in WWE All Women's Pay-Per-View. This is not the first ever All Women's Pay-Per-View because there are women's promotions out there only. So to WWE to promote, this is the first ever All Women's Pay-Per-View. It is just for WWE. When are we going to look back on this next? Was this the best show of all time? Was this one of the best shows of the year? Hell no. Am I going to say it was all bad? No, because the real main event of Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch was one of the best matches of the night. The second best match of the night, but why it drops down for me, was the finish is, of course, Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler. And for me, the only other match worth talking about in full is Io Shirai versus Toni Storm. That should have been the match of the night, but what did WWE do? What did WWE do? They handicapped it and cut that match to a 10-minute match. What should have been a culmination of a 8-week tournament, 32 women, and what do we get? What do we get? Oh, I don't know. We get a 10-minute match. When I said something about this, I believe on the final episode of the Mae Young Classic last Thursday, in which I said this should be like, I couldn't talk about the top 5 matches of the show, even though Miko Satomura is going to have 3 of the top 5 because the tournament wasn't done yet. Well, sad to say that the finals isn't going to be nowhere close to top 5 of this tournament. It isn't even in the top 10. This was just one of the worst things that they could have did for that show, for the match. The show started off with, of course, the legends of Trish Stratus and Lita versus Mickie James and Botch Fox, or Alicia Fox, who had to replace Alexa Bliss, who has a so-called concussion, even though she did get involved in the match. This match should have been a better match than it was, but of course Alicia Fox was in this match, which just totally destroyed this entire match and just showed why Alicia Fox should never, ever wrestle again on any WWE match. This match was full of botches. The show even started off with a botch because you know how Michael Cole, when the show starts off, you get the, hello everybody, well, this is Michael Cole here, and we're at this pay-per-view or this show, Monday Night Raw, which, by the way, it took a all-women's pay-per-view for WWE to finally give us a different setup for the entranceway. It was definitely different than what you see for Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views outside of WrestleMania, the Greatest Royal Rumble, and of course Crown Jewel, and the Super Showdown. It was different. It was still an LED board, of course, but it definitely was a different entrance. So kudos for WWE on that. That is a positive because the entrance, they tried to make it feel like a different show, and it did feel like a different show because they gave you a different entranceway, which is what we want to see for every single pay-per-view, and I would just wish that this is what we would get every single pay-per-view. Take what you did here tonight and give us a different setup every single time. It doesn't have to be something spectacular, but something different to make the shows feel great. Now, before the first match, we did have Nita Strauss in the ring playing her guitar while Lizzie Hale was on the microphone singing about Evolution Revolution. And I'm just going to say, what a waste of those two for the show. These guys deserve better than doing this show. They should be opening a WrestleMania or an NXT TakeOver, not this show. Plain and simple. Again, the first match was, of course, Charlotte Flair. No, not Charlotte, but it was Trish Stratus and Lita versus Mickie James and Alicia Fox. The first half of that match was trash. When Mickie tags in, the match picked up because you got Trish versus Mickie, which everybody popped for. The majority of the legends tonight got the big reactions, like Alundra Blaze, Trish, Lita, of course, Ivory, Molly Holly, but when Tori Wilson and Kelly came out, nobody cared. It was just like the Battle Royal we'll talk about in a second because I have something to say about that finish, which was total bullshit. But anyway, we're not on that match yet. This match was full of botches. There came a time when Lita hit Trish hit her Stratisfaction Bulldog off of the ropes, and Mickie can quite clearly see barking orders to Alicia Fox to break up the count. Even the referee stopped counting the 3 count because that wasn't the finish to the match. It was absolutely ridiculous. Alicia Fox again showed why she should not be in the ring. Until Mickie James tagged in, this was a glorified squash match. The Trish and Lita were just sitting there, just doing whatever the hell they wanted to Alicia Fox, and just looking like a bunch of, like, they just made Alicia Fox look like she was inferior, which she is to them. Lita and Trish won the match with a double Lita Hurricane Rana off the top rope as both women are laying down. And then a chick kick to Mickie James for the 3 count. And then we move on to, so it should have been what was, and people said it was a great match. It was not. That match was awful. The match was what it was. Nothing you can do about it. Then we get to the Battle Royal. I will give WWE kudos for this 20-woman Battle Royal because everybody got an entrance. It might have been a half entrance outside of Naomi, who actually got to go to the ring and do everything else, and 4 other people came in. But everybody got to enter to their theme music and made everybody feel a little bit more important. Biggest pop of this match, of course, was when Ember Moon and Asuka had to stare down and started fighting each other, trading shots, going back and forth. Asuka got eliminated by Ember Moon. The final 3 were, well, the final 4 that we thought were Ember Moon, Nia Jax, Tamina, and I believe... Was it Asuka? Asuka, yeah. Asuka was supposedly the final 4. Asuka got eliminated. Tamina got eliminated by Nia Jax. Not by Nia Jax, by Ember Moon. Ember Moon and Nia Jax are fighting on the hard cam side. Nia Jax, Ember Moon looks like she's about ready to eliminate or pull Nia Jax off to the apron so they can have a little brawl on the apron like they did for Nikki and Asuka at the Royal Rumble. When Zelina Vega showed up out of nowhere, tossed both of those to the apron, she's in the ring celebrating, thinking she just won, which, by the way, she got absolutely no reaction coming to the ring. It was sad. Asuka got a huge reaction, and Ember Moon got a huge reaction. And other than that, not too many people, but she got absolutely no reaction. Like half the crowd or none of the crowd knew who the hell Zelina Vega was, and that's kind of sad. She was in part of one of the hottest acts in NXT for the beginning of this year and the end of last year, and she gets absolutely no reaction. Like nobody knew who she was. That's absolutely sad. But she gets easily eliminated by Nia Jax. And then WWE, we know people are wondering, is Vince McMahon here? Vince McMahon booking this? Yes, Vince McMahon's booking this entire goddamn show, and this is a proof of it. Vince McMahon decides to have Nia Jax go out, Ember Moon, which the crowd was completely saying, we want Ember, let's go Ember. We're chanting for Ember, and instead of giving us something different, something new, something that would signify change, we get Nia Jax winning the 20-woman Battle Royal, with the winner getting a championship opportunity. By the way, speaking of this show, Stephanie McMahon came out 3 months ago and said that over 50 women were going to be participating in this show. I counted 39. Absolutely nowhere close to 50. So Stephanie McMahon, again, a big fucking liar. Only 30 women, and the referees do not count, the commentators do not count, and any ring crew person does not count, and Stephanie herself does not count. When they say participate, that's you wrestling in the ring. There were 39 women on this show, top to bottom, period. If you want to count Brie Bella, okay, there was 40. There was 40. That's still 10 women less. If they would have added 10 women for NXT, you would have been caught. But no, they didn't. So, trying to tell me that there was going to be 50 women in this, you're full of shit. Anyway, why did Nia Jax win this match? First off, in my opinion, up until Monday, she was not winning this match. There was rumor going around that it was going to be Asuka. The people who do the Vegas, the money, the bets were going to saying it was going to, like, Asuka had the best overall odds. The reason, 110% reason she won this match is simple. Roman Reigns came out on Monday Night Raw, that told us he is diagnosed with leukemia, and that threw everything out of proportion. And also because Ada Johnson was there, and you're gonna have that special moment for her niece, even though it's fucking pathetic. She's going to be pushed to the fucking moon, and it would not surprise me at either some Survivor Series or TLC. Nia Jax is going to win the Women's Championship from Ronda Rousey, and we're going to go on from there. She's going to win the Women's Championship, hold that championship until WWE feels like taking it off of her, because they do it for the Samoan dynasty. Somebody has to go and win, and the Samoans has to be your world champion of men or women. It would not surprise me if they wanted to split the Usos up at the Superstar Shakeup and have one win the WWE Championship and one win the Universal Championship. So all Samoans, and then have Tamina go to SmackDown again and have her win the Women's Championship. So all 4 singles titles are held by Samoans. It would not surprise me. WWE is absolutely pathetic trying to change. Like, they didn't need to change plans for this, because honestly, Nia Jax did not need to win this. The final 2 should have came down to Ember Moon and Asuka. It would have been a Raw versus a SmackDown. They could have did an Undertaker Shawn Michaels from, like, what was it, 8 years ago, where they had, well, 8 or 9 years ago, 8, 9, 10 years ago, where they were the final 2 in a match and the final 2 in the Royal Rumble that year, and then for the next 10 minutes they had another mini match. Maybe it was 07, one of those years, where they had a mini match and everybody was like just in love with it. It was one of the best finishes to one of the best finishes to a Royal Rumble in a very long time. It still hasn't really been topped. So somebody tell me why the hell a total diva gets the championship opportunity. She didn't need it. She should have been, after the Iconics who came out with their microphones, they were the last 2 to come out, talking all this shit. They were eliminated first. Good on that. Get them out of there. And then Nia Jax should have been eliminated, period. I don't want to see her go out and win another championship, because that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to give her another run at the championship. Why? Because they can. And it's pathetic. It's just so fucking pathetic. Moving on here, one of the matches I was looking forward to that got 10 minutes. Io Shirai versus Toni Storm, Mae Young Classic Finals. I would love to go blow by blow for the match, but it's only a 10-minute long match, and it's honestly just pisses me off that it happened like this. I could just tell from the beginning of this match it was a Vince McMahon booked match, because this match started and did not feel from start to finish like it was even part of the same tournament. You had headlock, wrist lock, back and forth between these two. These two just looked like they were doing an old formulaic match for Vince McMahon. It felt like Triple H had no say in this match, and the fact that this match didn't happen this way. It's fucking pathetic. We did see a drop kick and a kip out by Shirai, handstand by knees by Io for a 2 count. She does put her in a Ring of Saturn, and it was just a rest hold. Rest holds piss me off because WWE likes to have their wrestlers do rest holds, especially. It's just pathetic that they do this. Storm tries to get out of that, but Io stops that. She does eventually get to the ropes. Running knee stop by Storm, just snap German suplex followed by a hip check in the corner. Storm goes to top rope, but Io gets up and springboard jumps up, spring drop kicks, sends Storm to the outside, and then Io Shirai. I hope Charlotte Flair took notes she obviously didn't, but hopefully for future references, she takes notes on how to do a perfect moonsault, because Io Shirai did a perfect moonsault to the outside to Toni Storm. It was beautiful. Storm goes for the Tiger Driver on the apron, but Io stops that. Storm hit her with a headbutt, then a German by Storm to Io on the apron. Io is down on the outside. Io beats the 2 count. Storm gets a 2 count. I'm gonna start calling Io Shirai by her first name, because I just can't seem to Shirai. I keep saying it wrong sometimes or spelling it wrong on here when I want to try and tell who I'm talking about. So it's gonna be Io from now on. Storm with a forearm, Io blocks in next to, then forearms by Io until she gets Storm to the mat. Upper palm strong but Storm with a clothesline. Tiger driver for a 2 count. Io on the apron, hangs Storm on the middle rope, then a 619. Springboard sunset flip for a 2 count by Io. Double knees by Io in the corner. Io goes for the moonsault, but Storm gets the knees up, hits the Tiger driver. 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm is your Mae Young Classic winner. I will say this, Toni Storm got a way smaller trophy than what we saw from last year's Mae Young Classic, because I'm pretty sure the one that Kairi Sane got is either in the Performance Center still or locked up in a safe, because that thing was huge. This match felt like a Vince McMahon book match. It pissed me off the fact that this match, start to finish, just felt underwhelming compared to what we saw in the Mae Young Classic for 8 weeks out. If this felt like Xia Li versus Karen Q or Caitlyn versus the Kavita David, and those matches that just didn't feel like they should have been there. This match just felt like it was missing half of the match. And that sucks that you cut this match to 10 minutes. This is the shortest match of the night. The tag team match between Trish and Lita and the Mickie James and Alicia Fox went a minute longer than this one. This is fucking pathetic and pisses me off that they did this. No reason. Absolutely no reason this should have went this long. They should have went longer. It's plain and simple. Riot Squad versus Banks and Bailey versus Banks, Bailey, and Natty. Who really gives a fuck if you've seen a match between Banks and Bailey and a partner versus the Riot Squad? You've seen them all. The end of this match came powerbomb by Natty to Liv Morgan, followed by an elbow drop by Bailey, followed by a frog splash by Sasha Banks for the 3 count. Moving on. And then we had Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship. This was an excellent match until we got to the finish. This is a way for them to introduce the other 2 members of the 4 Horsewomen who have been working babyface. That's the only thing I don't get about this, is they have been working babyface on the house show circuit. And now they're not going to do that. They're going to turn them heel and have them team up with Shayna Baszler, as Shayna Baszler is your new NXT Women's Champion in a damn good match between these two. Just did not like the finish. The finish pretty much came to this match. I wouldn't want to go blow for this, but I got to talk about the finish. I did notice during the tag team, the 6-woman tag match, that I didn't notice this earlier in the night. They went old school with the barricade. They didn't use that stuff that they use on Raw, SmackDown, and most pay-per-views. They went absolutely old school in the Nassau Coliseum because they had the steel guardrail with WWE flags, black flags all over them. So we had Shayna Baszler sidestep Kairi Sane, who goes into this guardrail. Kairi Sane flips Shayna Baszler over the guardrail where Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir are both sitting. The referee is one of the female referees for WWE's NXT, and they ended up having. She has the dumb referee syndrome where she doesn't see things like this. Well, I think it was Jessamine Duke. Like, Shayna Baszler gets out of the guardrail. Jessamine Duke gets Kairi Sane and grabs her by the hair as the referee's not looking. She gets back-fisted. And then Kairi Sane gets Shayna Baszler back in the ring, goes for the insane elbow, but the other member of the Friends gets up and she gets kicked down. Kairi Sane ends up getting hit with a shot to the face by one of them, and the Karafuda clutch gets put on, and Shayna Baszler is the first ever NXT Women's Champion to be a 2-time Women's Champion. That is something else. And I have a feeling that's why they did it. So my feeling is that this is going to go straight to War Games. And NXT TakeOver War Games is going to be Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane, with Kairi Sane beating Shayna Baszler again, becoming the second woman to be an NXT, be a two-time NXT Women's Champion, or she's going to lose at NXT TakeOver War Games and she's coming up. I don't know. Whoever loses the rematch of this show, because this is definitely not the last time you're going to see these two wrestle. It was a damn good match, minus the hiccup with having the two interfere. Other than that, this was a damn good match, and definitely one of the three matches of the night. This is okay. This would be match 2. If you want to talk about top 3 matches, Io Shirai versus Toni Storm was match number 3. This was match number 2, and later, if I'm correct, later, because what do we have next? We had, oh no, the next match was match of the night, plain and simple. That would be Becky versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship and the first ever last woman standing match on WWE pay-per-view. It's not the first ever last woman standing match, but it is the first last woman standing match on pay-per-view. That's how I'm going to put it. On pay-per-view. The match started out a little slow because they kept ducking and missing each other and trying to close on each other, and both ducking and missing. Charlotte shoves the crowd. This shit pissed a lot of people off, and me too. They did a highlight package for this match, and every time that you would usually hear cheers for Becky Lynch, they put in the boos. They put in boos, trying to get people to boo Becky Lynch. Oh, they wanted you to look, oh, they're booing Becky on the screen. I should boo Becky too. That didn't work. The crowd was 110% about Becky, and Becky actually acknowledged it. She's coming out second, as a champion should do. And they're singing to a theme song, and she actually looks at Charlotte and points to it, and is like, listen, they're cheering for me, bitch. They're cheering for me. They don't want you. They're cheering for me. Every time Charlotte was down, the fans were counting with the referee, hoping for her to stay down. Every time Becky was down, the crowd was booing. Yet Becky's a heel. She has got to be the most backwards heel I think I've ever seen, because she is getting cheered immensely. Now, I will say there were a couple Charlotte, let's go Charlotte chants in the crowd, but my word, every time you heard anyone say, let's go Charlotte, you would hear 10, 15, 20, 5, 6, 7,000 people saying, let's go Becky, and drowning out anybody who wanted to say, let's go Charlotte. This was definitely the match of the night. This was probably the longest match of the night. And what I'm going to be able to talk about the main event, their main event, because this was and should have been the main event of this show. Let's see here. Charlotte shoves Becky. The crowd boos her immensely. The crowd is behind Becky this entire match. Elbow and leg drop by Becky Lynch, who gets a 4 from the referee because she tells the ref to count. Becky drops Charlotte from the top, exploded by Lynch. Crowd cheers for Becky when Charlotte is down, boos when Becky is down. Kind of said that already. Lynch brings out a kendo stick, and I mean, she put in some stiff shots to Charlotte. But I've got to say, Charlotte cries way too fucking much. She has got to be a crier or something, because she cries all the fucking time. It is just pathetic. She got tapped later on in this match. Becky gets a chat out and lightly tapped Charlotte, and I swear she was gonna cry a river how much she cried in this match. After the kendo stick gets tossed away, both women on the opposite side of each other, and they start grabbing chairs and throwing them in. So we're having a chair throwing in contest. Yay! This is ECW stuff. You heard ECW chants from the crowd. Another thing about this, Charlotte goes to get a table, and Becky Lynch stops that. I think this is when she hit her with the chair. She's dragging Charlotte around the ring, and you hear, "You deserve it. You deserve it," sent to Charlotte. Yeah, Becky's the heel. Becky's the heel. By the way, anybody who wanted to see Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, you can thank this feud for that probably not happening. This feud right here has hurt Becky Lynch in the eyes of WWE. This feud right here is killed Charlotte Flair, probably dead for that, because God, they have messed her. Them misfiring on this definitely messed up any plans they had for Charlotte Flair. I wouldn't even be surprised if she gets eliminated early in the Royal Rumble, because god damn did they screw her up. Back suplex on Becky Lynch by Charlotte. Both women get up at 8. Becky sets the table up in the ring, rock bottom by she stacked a bunch of chairs in the ring, and then she gets Charlotte Flair and hits her with a massive, they didn't call it that, but it was legitimately the rock bottom onto these chairs. Charlotte Flair's overacting too in this entire match was absolutely cringeworthy. Anytime she took an attack on the back, she would arch her back and move, squirm all the way around the ring because the match hurt. I know it's supposed to hurt, but you are taking this way too fucking far. You're diminishing what you're doing because of your overacting. It does not help at all. This was still a damn good match. Becky up at 5, Charlotte up at 8. Charlotte places Lynch on the table and hits a moonsault, but barely. She needs to stop doing the moonsault. She barely connected and mistimed this entire moonsault. Table did not break. She puts her on the table again and does a senton of sorts, which actually she can hit because you know what? She can see where she's fucking going. Do the senton. You do it way better than you do a moonsault. Just saying. Both women get up at 9. Charlotte gets a ladder. Lynch stops that. Lynch then drops Charlotte on the ladder, and again she overacts the entire fucking thing. Top block by Charlotte, who drags Lynch to the ladder and ties her up and puts her in the figure 8. In the figure 8 while Becky is tied up in the ladder, which was nasty looking. Lynch then gets the chair and attacks Charlotte's legs on the outside, because the only way Becky Lynch was able to get up was roll to the outside. Charlotte is then driven into the steps. Lynch sends Charlotte into the post as well. Lynch grabs her title as she thinks this is it and walks off, trying to get away from Charlotte. Charlotte runs her down and chops ensue between the two. They fight all around the outside here. I would really love to see them, I would really love to see one match that, it's Falls Count Anywhere, or I don't know, a last woman standing, last man standing match, or last person standing match, any one of those matches that does not end in or around the ring. Come on, change this up. You could have had these women go out and fight in the Nassau Coliseum. We need to have a little bit of a change up. Not every time, but this would have been one time to see these women actually finish their match somewhere else than in the ring or around the ring. Back in the ringside area, Charlotte sends Lynch somewhere and sets up a ladder. Lynch hits Charlotte with the title straight in the face. Charlotte gets set up on the announce table. Becky Lynch hits a leg drop. I'm like, we're going to get another match out of this. Are you kidding me? Both women are up at 9, but Lynch then beats the fuck out of Charlotte again and buries her under a bunch of chairs. And this pissed me off too, because you had Charlotte Flair just get buried by a bunch of chairs, and I don't mean the steel chairs, I mean the announce desk chairs from the German, the Spanish, and the American announce desk. And then she just, at 8, pops out of it like it's nothing and is up. And Mike Chioda, the fucking senile moron, decides to not count Charlotte Flair down, who has both her knees down. He's just like, are you up? Are you up? Are you up? Oh, she's up. Are you kidding me? Good thing this still ended the way it needed to. Charlotte gets up and gets the kendo stick and starts going after Becky Lynch and ends up hitting her with the spear. She gets up almost immediately after that, no selling any damage from the match, drags Becky to the second table that she was trying to set up earlier, sets it up, puts Becky Lynch on the table, looks to do another moonsault. Becky Lynch up, power bombs her through the table, and Charlotte Flair could not act this any worse than she did. Honestly, she's sitting there, back arched, squirming back and forth. Like, for fuck's sake, Mike Chioda could have honestly stopped his count the way this went, because he's at an 8, and she's has both of her feet out, has herself look like she's about ready to do push-ups with one arm, and then she falls back down at 9. Instead of just doing this the right fucking way, no, she looks like a fucking she makes the ending of this match tear off a little bit. It was fucking stupid. But the right woman won this match. It is time to move on to somebody else. And in my opinion, that should be Naomi. The only other two people on SmackDown right now who should even be in line for a women's championship opportunity are Asuka and Naomi. Nobody else can really buy to be in this. And with Asuka and Naomi, you might actually get boos for Becky. You might actually get boos for Becky because they are baby faces. She is supposed to be a heel. She can start talking shit on one of those two and boom, go from there. We'll see what happens, but that should be Charlotte Flair's last title opportunity. She has no reason to get another title opportunity. She has no gripe. She lost fair and square. There is no bullshit. There is no fuck finish. This was a last woman standing match. This is it for Charlotte. She should be off. She fight off against somebody else. I hope somebody who's not named Becky Lynch comes out and fucks Charlotte up or whatever we have. But that has got to be it for Charlotte Flair. Then we have the main event, their main event, which I honestly don't know how you could even follow what you did with this match. Oh, what are we going to do with Becky? What are we going to do with Ronda Rousey, may I ask? We're going to bring in WrestleMania, having one of the best WrestleMania debuts ever. And by October, we're going to kill her credibility completely. 100%. When you have Nikki fucking Bella, take you to the limit and have you within inches of thinking you're going to lose your title and lose the match, you have done fucked up, WWE. There is absolutely no reason that Nikki Bella should have even been in this match. That match should have lasted that match should have been ring the bell, the twisting Samoan drop, or whatever the fuck she calls that thing, armbar, that's it. But no. What do? They give us Nikki Bella working a match and having Ronda Rousey sell for her. You just want to kill. It just makes no sense why WWE does this. You have something special in somebody, and you just want to kill it. You had it with Asuka, and on the men's side, you had it with Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, others like Apollo Crews was nowhere near to be found. Like Sasha Banks, Bayley, same thing. You have all these women and men who should feel special, but they don't. And Ronda Rousey is supposed to be the baddest woman on the planet, and you're gonna have her go out there and wrestle Nikki Bella to a match that should have lasted less than it did. I mean, are you kidding me? It just makes no sense. It absolutely makes no goddamn sense why you would have Nikki Bella go out there and wrestle that long of a match. Her match went 14 minutes and 15 seconds. The longest match, of course, was Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. That match went almost half an hour. So yes, the shortest match of the night was Io Shirai versus Toni Storm, which is a damn shame. But yes, your Women's Championship match for Raw went longer than the NXT Women's Championship match and the Mae Young Classic Finals. It was only trumped by the Women's Battle Royal, which why they called it a historic. I honestly want to know this too. After the Battle Royal with Nia Jax winning, I think it was Charlie Caruso came in and said, "No, you didn't just win, you also made history." When was the last time a 20-woman Battle Royal was history? Why was it historic? I don't get it. I really want someone in the comment section below tell me how Nia Jax was historic tonight. It makes no sense to me. Like, I don't know how it was historic. The only woman who made history tonight was Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is a 2-time women's champion of NXT. That has never happened before. See, Charlie, when somebody makes history, it's because they've done something that has never been done before. Nia Jax won a Battle Royal. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Shayna Baszler is a 2-time NXT Women's Champion. That has never happened before. Asuka didn't do it. Ember Moon didn't do it. Paige didn't do it. Charlotte and Bayley and Sasha Banks didn't do it. It's something that only Shayna Baszler has done. So to sit there and try and tell me, oh, well, Nia Jax has made history. What did she make history doing? Absolutely fucking nothing. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. And the fact, and we're going to go back to this, the fact that Nikki Bella lasted with Ronda Rousey for almost 15 minutes is a joke. Anybody, and I'm going to say this about this, anybody who goes after Ronda Rousey and even thinks her as a threat anymore is just a fucking fool. You have her go out there and sell for 14 fucking minutes. Give me a break. Oh, but she had her sister with her. I don't care. That's bullshit. 14 goddamn minutes, and that lasted longer than the Mae Young Classic, which was a match that everybody should have been looking forward to and should have stole the show. And you give me a 14-minute match with Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey. Give me a fucking break. WWE, yes, it was not all bad, but the majority of this match, of this show, was absolutely bad. The only three matches, I'm going to say two because the Io Shirai versus Toni Storm match, although it was good, should have went longer. The only two great matches of this show were Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane and Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. Don't want to hear another fucking thing from anybody. Nikki Bella is trash. Nikki Bella has always been trash. Don't at me. Don't give me a fucking bullshit lie. Nikki Bella making Ronda Rousey sell for her is a fucking joke, and it takes everything that WWE has done for the women's evolution and just makes it worse. Give me a fucking break. Somebody in WWE needs their fucking head checked. Not even funny. Not even funny at all. Give me a break. That was Evolution. It wasn't as good as that. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it was still a damn shame. This was nothing evolving. Nothing here evolved. We didn't evolve anywhere. We had a great match with the women. We had two great matches. One with a bullshit finish, in my opinion. I don't like when a championship match ends that way. But we had one match that actually felt like an evolution, whereas everything else felt like shit. Don't like it, too fucking bad. This is my thoughts. You don't like it, you don't have to watch, or you don't have to listen. Make sure to find me on Twitter at TheFrance. Make sure to find me at twitch.tv/TheFrance08. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike. If you don't like what I say, hit that dislike button. All the same to me. But I will see you guys tomorrow for Monday Night Raw, which is going to be a big day for Monday Night Raw because we have to see if WWE is even able to figure out how to move on the correct way from Roman Reigns. And we also will hopefully get we don't really need an explanation, but we'll probably get something from Dean Ambrose and why he turned his back on his Shield brother and why he decided to do it on the same night as his buddy Roman Reigns leaves for an extended amount of time from the WWE to fight leukemia. Tomorrow is going to be a new day for Monday Night Raw. Let's see if they can actually do something with it. But that's all I gotta say on Evolution. A show with three great matches and 4 trash matches. But until then, I'm getting out here. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. Until then, my name is Franz, and you guys have a good one.